This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Wednesday? It's The Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. You're halfway through the week. It's the last week of January, the first month of the year, almost gone. Hope you and yours are thawing out, are dealing with the cold weather this week. A-okay. Hope everything is going well. Hopefully, maybe you're getting an extra episode of the Joe Gaither Show in on your listening devices because you are sitting at home or you're trapped or you're not doing your routine is a little bit different. So hopefully you're working us into your routine. It's the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We're live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios right off of McFarland Boulevard. The roads haven't been too bad at all in Tuscaloosa, so we've been A-okay. We've been blessed with a little bit of that. We are, as we said, in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. Call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much he can save you today. We're also brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing for all of your insurance needs at for all of your roofing needs at 877-787-6635. If you call Purple Turtle Roofing and ask them about insurance, they'll tell you that they can help you out, connecting you with your insurance company, getting you a new roof. They'll work on your roof. They'll give you a free roof inspection, let you know how much time your roof has. If your roof has any damage, you can call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. As always, the program is on the Bama Central YouTube channel, the Bama Central Facebook page. We are on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. We're right there on our own social media machines at Joe Gaither 6. So you can leave us a comment, a question, a query, or complaint right there. You can call us on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. And we're going to have a fun day today talking about Alabama's big old win over the Missouri Tigers, 90-64, holding their opponent. Alabama held their opponent to the lowest output, high major. Held their high major opponent to the lowest output of the season. Alabama's previous low output, Maryland scored 72. So now Missouri at 64 is the best defensive performance for the Crimson Tide. So we'll talk about that today with our man Theo Fernandez. You can find Theo Fernandez __ on the Twitter machine, writing all things Alabama sports for BamaCentral.com. Theo, good morning. How are you? Late night in Coleman last night. How we doing?
Late night in Coleman, and in 11 months of coming on this show, yesterday might have been the most egregiously wrong I've ever been, coming out saying Mizzou is not only going to win, but win by a solid margin. And then, man, that's a take I wish I could have back, but Alabama proved me wrong. What a performance. Just such a complete game for this Crimson Tide team. It's the kind of night we've been looking for, right?
Absolutely. So, all right, exactly. As you set us up. They proved you wrong. What did they do that surprised you last night?
Played a complete basketball game. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? You played 40 minutes without any negative stretches, really. You know, I bet I could look at the trends on stat broadcasts and pulling it up right now. Like, I don't think Mizzou had any real significant run, any period of time where they really went on a crazy stretch. Yeah, they had a 7-0 run at some point in the game, but I believe that was really early in the opening minutes. Their last lead was 16-13. Alabama ties it up with 3 and then just runs away with the game. 16-4 run to close the second half to close the first half, and then Latrell Reitzel makes 4 threes in a 3-minute stretch. Alabama goes on a 14-2 run, completely puts Mizzou out of this ball game. And it's, we talked about the flaws of this team and the stuff that Alabama does wrong, and a lot of that still happened. Like, you got Bediako, you got Sherelle, they combined for 1 offensive rebound. You got out-rebounded still, which I guess is bound to happen. And you did a lot of things that a lot of the negatives from earlier in the season, so I lost my train of thought,
It's all right.
carried over.
We're right here in the Darren
into
Daniel State
today.
Farm Studios.
We are, yeah. We're back and rolling. And Alabama just had one of those nights where the shots are falling. You shoot 39 threes. You get 15 of them to fall, and that's all that matters, right? That's what we've been waiting for out of this team. And then just such a complete defensive performance. I mean, a Missouri team that was shooting 50% on the season, highest in the SEC, shoots under 40. Lowest scoring output for a Power 5 team against Alabama this year. Phenomenal game all around.
Yeah, you've Alabama forced 13 turnovers, scored 15 points off the 13 turnovers. Alabama ended up with 10 second chance points. Did get outscored in the paint, but it really didn't matter, making 15 threes to Missouri's 4. And I thought that they played an extremely strong game. Held Missouri to 39% shooting from the floor. As you said, that's way down from Missouri's 50% shooting on the season. And obviously, everybody, the easy number to look to is, Alabama, did you get lucky? Theo, we'll ask you, did Alabama get lucky by facing a Missouri team that went 8 for 23 from the free throw line? A pretty terrible free throw percentage, 35% from the free throw line. Let's just say that they made 10 more. They're still losing 90-74.
Right.
So it's not going to completely make up the gap. But Dennis Gates in the post game said, well, if we'd have made some more free throws, we'd have seen the ball go through the basket a little more. Maybe it would have given us some more confidence to make more shots in the real run of play. So did Alabama? Is that just the answer? Alabama got lucky because Missouri couldn't shoot free throws.
To an extent, yes. I mean, that was a hard performance. I mean, 8 of 23 is about as bad as. Yeah, they shot 35% from the free throw line, worse from the field.
If I were a Missouri fan, that would send me to the restroom sick.
Yeah, no, I would be absolutely besides myself. Now, Alabama, one of those games where you think Alabama just won by enough where none of that would have mattered, but it is hard to say. You know, it's what do the free throws do for you momentum-wise?
Mark Mitchell, 1 of 8. Game? That's your big dog right there.
Yeah, this is the guy who scored 31 on Bama a year ago, and he was just not all that good. He shot 5-11 from the field. Okay, not horrible, but yeah, you're not going to see a team shoot 34%, miss 15 free throws in a game. You just can't complain about anything right now, though, for Alabama, because even with the free throws, like you said, it was still you let Missouri score 74 points instead of 64. You're happy. You win the game. Lucky to an extent, but still just a great performance all around.
Do we give the missed free throws credit to Crimson Chaos, to all the people, the thousands and thousands of people that were in Coleman Coliseum last night?
Yeah, all 13,800 fans, really.
Ridiculous. Stat broadcast listed as a sellout, and obviously I guess all the tickets were sold, but we haven't done the attendance conversation in quite some time for Alabama basketball, and for a long time, because somewhat of it's played out, and most of you know my position by now. But last night, pretty disappointing. I would say there was 7,500, 8,000 people, somewhere in that range, in Coleman Coliseum. At the first media timeout, Tony Giles hits the announcement: if there's a red seat in front of you and you want to move down closer to the floor, come on down. And obviously, you see everybody start to file down just by everybody, couple rows for everybody, and the tops of the rafters were pretty empty. The corners were pretty empty. The student section, the back half of the student section, was pretty empty. So you got all those missed free throws with a smaller crowd, but passionate. There were some moments where crowd got riled up and got rowdy. So the 7,500, the 8,000 that were in the building last night did their part to get inside. Mark Mitchell said there was one point he was 0 of 3, 0 4 from the free throw line. They go 0 of 4, 0 of 4. He missed the next one. 0 of 5, 0 of 5. And they were just goading him on to get into his head a little bit. I thought the smaller crowd was enthusiastic, and so give credit to people who were so brave. How cold was it? It wasn't that cold last night. I didn't put on extra layers.
That bad, yeah.
I didn't put on extra layers. I had a jacket, of course. I had a jacket and was wearing pants, so whatever. But it wasn't that cold. What's the excuses? Oh, it's Tuesday night. Oh, it's cold outside. Yeah, Well, the real excuse is Alabama lost on Saturday, and some of the juice was
taken away.
Yeah, yes.
You know, I had a woman in my comment section. I posted a video. The attendant said, "Oh, you know, it's the first big exam week in."
Yeah, right.
You think an exam is stopping a student at the University of Alabama?
Yeah, when has that stopped a kid going to a game?
Yeah.
What stopped a kid going to a game is, well, I went Saturday. I jumped all night Saturday night. I yelled all night Saturday night, and they lost. Why should I go?
Yeah, no, it is frustrating. And so I use my roommates I have two roommates who like football a lot, and they're not super into basketball. So I use them as kind of the barometer for how the campus feels. And it was a struggle. They had no interest in going to this basketball game.
They stay home?
Yeah, they stayed home. Now, when I was going as a fan originally, I was probably going to be able to talk them into doing it, like drag them out. But as soon as I got the media credential and they wouldn't be sitting with me, I knew, like, yeah, there's no way these people aren't
sitting at home building Legos,
just doing whatever, not even watching the game. You know, Alabama needs to be on top of the world for the general student population and care. You know, and if you've been deceived a little by the success and by the turnout that's followed it, I mean, this is just a reminder, like, it is all dependent. It's all conditional. You lose a couple games, that's all it takes for people to
They'll turn right on you. They'll turn right on you. So sad. Okay, so Alabama improves to over 500 in SEC play. All right, woo, great. Let's hang the banner. Over 500 in SEC play. Scrolling all the way down, 4-3 in league play. You're 2 games off of Texas A&M. You're a game off of Arkansas, Florida. You're now back tied with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has a tiebreaker over you. You're tied in the loss column with Kentucky. You got the tiebreaker over them. You're tied in the loss column with Georgia and Missouri. You haven't played either of them yet. So a lot of the teams that are ahead of you are still on the schedule. So like everything, you're not out of it yet. If you had lost last night, you would have been probably really on the outside looking in. You're not quite on the outside right now, but you do need some help to catch Texas A&M, and Texas A&M, I think, looks like a really strong team. Obviously, our old buddy Rylan Griffin and the high school coach that everybody is familiar with, Bucky Ball, is over there as well. Bucky McMillan. They ended up beating South Carolina. Was that last night or that was last night? Was it not?
No, I thought that was over the weekend, but
no, you're probably right.
They're just a fun team. I thought they played someone last night.
Yeah, it was over the weekend. They're off this midweek.
Okay.
They're off this midweek. Their next game is Saturday. They're at Georgia. So a little bit of a break. They're at Georgia. Then they come to Coleman Coliseum Wednesday, February 4th. So look, folks, like, you were upset about losing to Tennessee. I get it. You understand. It was cold. You didn't want to be there. Wednesday, February 4th at 6 p.m., Alabama's taking on the number 1 team in the conference. You can really put yourself, you could put yourself right on your shoulder, right on the Texas A&M shoulder, right on the Arkansas shoulder if you can beat Texas A&M on that Wednesday. Now, you got to also have a huge game on Sunday where you're taking on the Florida Gators, and that's going to be a big challenge in and of itself. But your next 2 games, Florida and A&M, back-to-back, huge games. The next 3, Florida, A&M, and Auburn, back-to-back-to-back, are great times to stay on that train, stay on the Crimson Tide train, because I think you saw something last night that shows you what this team is really capable of. You're still missing Amari Allen last night, and I do want to talk about Amari Allen, so make sure you put a little note there, because I have a small thing about him that I noticed last night that really impressed me. But you end up starting with Aiden Sherrill and Charles Bediako, and of course the place went crazy when you announced Charles Bediako as a starter. And just as we said yesterday, you've got 3 more games at least with Charles. You've got last night's Missouri game, Florida, and the Texas A&M game, I believe, are all he's all eligible for all 3 of them with the extended temporary restraining order. We'll see what happens if the NCAA ever finds its way down to Tuscaloosa for that court case. But you started Charles Bediako, and what you did was you moved Aiden Sherrill to the 4, and we were all worried about Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell scoring 30-something points against Alabama last time. Well, Sherrill guards Mark Mitchell, and what you do is the biggest problem for the whole year, Alabama's outsized. Alabama is weird at the 4. Alabama's playing, 4s at the 5s and 5s at the 4. Not enough post presence. Well, Charles Bediako immediately comes in and establishes a real post threat, a real post presence. I think Aiden Sherrill is a fine post player, but I think he's about a B. As far as a post player, he gets, I think, still pushed a little bit around when they're trying to rebound the basketball. I think he's improved as a defender. Yes. I don't really think he's that strong inside offensively. I think he's obviously a good little shooter, and he can put the ball back up there if he does get an offensive rebound. But as far as, hey, we're going to chuck the ball into Aiden Sherrill and he's going to make some plays, that's not really his game. And you saw it last night. Charles Bediako, you didn't really throw the ball down into him on the post, but screen and rolls, lots of screen and rolls, and just how he influenced the spacing on the offensive end and on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, I think you see this team, while Missouri is not the greatest team ever that you beat, but you've got 2 sample sizes now with Charles Bediako, and each one of them a little closer to what it could be. I think that this team, while they may not win the SEC regular season because they're just a little too far off the pace, even if you beat Texas A&M, you're going to be a game behind them in the standings, and there's 11 games or so left to play. So we'll see if somebody else can bite Texas A&M and you can get ahead of them. But I would say winning the SEC is unlikely at this point. What I would say is you're jockeying for a top 4 position in the SEC tournament so that you can have a double bye. You get the double bye, you can basically win 1 game, you're in the semifinals. You win 3 games, it's quarterfinals, semifinal, finals. You can go 3 in a row and win the SEC tournament. I do think winning the SEC tournament is still very much on the table for this team. I know Theo is or was a little bit down on the team. They're not going to get to the Sweet 16. I'll ask you how you feel in just a minute. But I just think that last night shows you the defensive ability of this team. You've got double rim protection. You've got Charles Bediako playing the drop coverage that he was so good at during his time here in Tuscaloosa. I think that knowing that you have better rim protection brought out better efforts in the guards. Coach Oates talked about being locked into the scouting report, and obviously Missouri shot like dog poo. So there's a little bit of room, gray area, because Missouri shot the ball like dog poo, but I thought the guards played with good effort. I thought the bigs played with good effort. Taylor Bowen, a bunch of rebounds for Bowen last night. Was it 10 full ball? 10 rebounds. Yeah. Only 4 points, but who cares? You're not really there to score, Bowen. You're there to score when it's there, but get the rebounds. That's the more important thing. Obviously, you were 0-4 from the 3-point line, and Theo and I talked about his 3-point shot looking like a weird set shot last night, and it's looked like that all year. But Bowen with 10 rebounds, that's really the point of this part of the conversation. I think the effort was higher in general throughout the entire lineup, and I think Charles gives the team a little bit more confidence that, hey, we can go toe-to-toe with anybody because we've got enough bigs. Noah Williamson only played a minute and a half, 5 minutes on this chart. I think it was a stretch in the first half and a stretch in the second half. Yeah, subbed in the second half for the first time, subbed out at 15. Yeah, basically a stretch in the second half for 3 or 4 minutes, and then he got the last minute or 2 of the game because just saving everybody and getting everybody's minutes in there. But you bump Noah back to the, if necessary, break glass will bring him in role instead of you're now the second center and we need you to give us something in 12 minutes. Can you give us something in 9 minutes? Give us 3-4 rebounds in 9 minutes and maybe put up a layup back in. I thought that the addition of Bediako raises the ceiling, and I think we saw it last night. And if you need just data for it, look at KenPom. You have added Charles Bediako back. You had 2 games with him, and now you're back in the top 60 of defensive efficiency. And I know people say top 60, that's horrible. You're right, but you were trending close to 80. You're at 78, 79, and you have started to creep back up. You're at 59 right now. offense is at 3. We all remember Coach Oates wants to be like basically a top 30, top 40 defense and a top 10 offense, and he thinks that that's the recipe to win a national title. But the defensive efficiency is creeping back up. The pace, you're 8 last night going into the game. You're at 7 now in pace, so you're playing a little faster. I think the defensive stops that you're getting gets you up the floor a little bit better. And I just think there were signs in last night's game. Yes, Missouri played bad. Missouri shot poorly. Missouri came to Tuscaloosa and threw 2 big guys in the lane, and the one big guy clogged up the lane for Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell couldn't really operate. Who was 15? It was Sean Phillips. Was that right? 50. Yeah, Sean Phillips was who that other guy was. And he scored 10 points. Great, but they clogged the lane up for each other. There wasn't enough space with Charles, with Aiden, with Sean Phillips, and with Mark Mitchell for everybody to work. And I think that you saw some signs of, this basketball team could reach some of the goals that we had for the team going into the year.
Yeah, and Joe, I'm not going to readjust my position on the team or what I said based off a win over a not super good Missouri team. Missouri team that I think can fight their way into the tournament, get onto the 9 line, but I don't think this Tigers team is all that good. And I think most people who watched that game and who have watched this team at all really would agree about Mizzou. Look, Alabama is an impressive performance. It was the most I've been impressed by a performance in a while, right? You know, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, those were games that didn't particularly impress me, with Alabama doing stuff that I think won't translate to wins all the time. And Mizzou, yeah, the offensive rebounding problem, sure, it's still going to be a struggle. I'm a little underwhelmed by Bediako as far as his just pure ability to grab rebounds. Excuse me, but you also got to realize that watching him out there, like, he does all the right things to set his teammates up to get rebounds. The positioning, the boxing out, and I know you're going to talk about Amari Allen in a minute because you have something, but like Amari Allen would be there to grab a bunch of those rebounds that have been set up by Bediako. So I think that's almost something I feel a little better about. If there's one thing that's been influenced a little, it's that I believe that a Bediako Amari Allen pairing will help Alabama a ton on the boards, because Amari Allen he is such a good rebounder, man. He has
leading the team.
He has an ability that you cannot teach.
Yeah, instinctual.
Yes. I do also, I don't fish for answers much in press conferences, but I fished for an answer yesterday. I asked Nate Oates about the vertical spacing that Bediako provides with the lobs, just trying to get Oates to say, yes, that's why we were able to shoot 39 threes. He gave me that exact answer. And you look at what Bediako does and the way that you have to guard him, and the idea that no matter how a play develops, he will be a threat to catch a lob. I mean, London Jemison passed up a shot to throw this guy a lob.
London don't pass up too many shots.
London Jemison is the Michael Porter Jr. of college basketball right now. The possession ends with him.
Catch and shoot.
And
make or miss.
I will say, like, just the ball movement looked phenomenal. There was one play that I'm going to try to clip off when I was at WVUA, when I'm back there and we have access to the clips, but we passed all the way around the horn twice to set up a wide open. We passed, Latrell Wrightsell passes up a solid 3, goes all the way around. They get it back to him in the other corner, and he's wide open. Boom. It was just phenomenal. And you got to think that so much of that is just opened up by Bediako and the threat that he poses, where, this guy could get a lob at any moment. This guy can roll at any moment. Like, it is just, it was beautiful offense at stretches. And
so can I move you to the Sweet 16 line?
No, because I need to see this team do it consistently.
Sure. Sweet 16.
I still believe that Florida will win against Alabama by a good bit on Sunday. Alabama struggled to beat the Gators the past couple years. I haven't seen them.
They've crushed them.
Yeah, I've not seen them beat Florida in the time I've been here. So if Alabama can string together performances like this and continue to, they're really, I've nitpicked some of the negatives, but it is a short list from yesterday's game. So Alabama impressed me, taking the first step to maybe getting me to revise that stance, but I still need to see him do it more, and I don't think they'll be able to.
Alabama's lost 4 in a row to the Florida Gators, losing 104-82. Okay, 99-94. That was in Tuscaloosa last March. You lost 108-88 in Nashville. Got absolutely blown off the floor right there in the SEC tournament. Really twice. Nashville this past season and 2 seasons ago, 102-88, and then lost in Gainesville 105-87. March of 2024. So the last time you beat them was February of 2024. You beat them 98-93 here in Tuscaloosa. You're on 4 in a row losing to the Florida Gators. You're playing them Sunday at noon. And I do agree that it will show you more, that it will give you more. But I just think that small evidence is there that, okay, if they can keep going with Chuck, if they can keep figuring out the spacing with Chuck and Aiden Sherrill, you can take some of the pressure off of the guards to have, play a 4-guard lineup. You can play really a 2 and a 3-guard lineup and play with some bigs. And Amari Allen, when he gets back, can also play the 4 if he needs to, can play a big 3 or a small 4 if you needed to. I think you've got some tools here now. Again, we'll take you back to the Monday conversation, and we'll go back and remind myself that we should not count on this team to get healthy at any point this year, because when Amari Allen comes back on Sunday, somebody is going to end up being on the injury report on Saturday night because of, stepped out of the shower the wrong way or something. I mean, knock on wood, please don't let that happen. But I'm just expecting the worst for the Crimson Tide. But I do think that, there is some more reason I think there's some reason to say this season is not thrown in the can. The season is not, hey, no chance at winning anything. I think you have a small chance to still win the regular season. You're going to have to catch some breaks. You're going to have to play really well against high-level opponents. And I do think losing Sunday is probably in the cards. But I think you can build to Nashville and have a good shot to win the SEC tournament and put yourself into a good position to make a nice run in March. And really, I guess that's the goal.
Yeah, hey, I mean, we are getting to this home stretch, right? I mean, we're under
10, 11 games
a
left.
month and a half left in this regular season, which has just flown by. And
did you watch Amari Allen last night?
No, I did not.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't get this. Let's hear.
Okay, so when Alabama's on our end, when Missouri is shooting on our end, we're right there by the Alabama locker room. And so in the first half, Missouri's shooting on our end. It's Alabama's defense right in front of us. And then the second half obviously flipped. Alabama shooting on the shooting right in front of us. But the first half, Missouri's shooting right in front of us. And I don't know if Amari Allen sat down for more than 3 minutes in the entire first half. And obviously, he was out last night, out on Saturday, with an undisclosed injury. I haven't really been able to find out what he's dealing with. But been a game time decision each of the last 2 games and obviously didn't play. But in the game last night, standing up pretty much the entire game, yelling, shooter here, switch here, screen. He was yelling, directing, arms pointing, hands waving, all pretty much every time Alabama's on defense, pointing at different Missouri guys, pointing at different screens coming, yelling out action sets. There was a minute, about 3 or 4 minutes that I didn't watch the game. I just watched Amari Allen. You can see some of it on my Twitter at Joe Gaither 6. You can see what I'm talking about. Was extremely demonstrative on the bench. Now, you make a big 3. He was, oh yeah, put his 3s up and big support, big cheer. But what stood out to me was when Alabama was back on his end, the defensive end, how much he was communicating from the bench, and not just communicating sitting down, ho-hum, shooter, come on, dudes, let's go. It wasn't any sort of passive communication going on from the bench. Maybe I'm making too much out of it, but I was impressed by, man, he seems to really know what's going on. He seems to really be locked in. He seems to really be understanding what Missouri is trying to do and be trying to communicate that to his teammates. And so while he was out last night, I think that he showed, at least me, some of his value in the sense that, okay, this young man, he's a freshman, but he's studying these teams. He's in film. He's understanding what they're trying to do, and he's trying to communicate it to the rest of his team, to his teammates as a leader. Obviously, he's won the hard hat a lot of times this season. He and last night Houston Millette actually won the hard hat, but he's won it a handful of times. And Coach Oates has talked about him being the kind of not spiritual, but with kind of the effort replacement, motivational. Yeah, that's better. That's better. The motivational leader, kind of the Energizer Bunny, replacing Mohamed Diabate from last season. Well, he said that. You can disagree, but he said that. After the Kentucky game, I asked him if Amari Allen's replaced the blue collar nature that Mohamed Diabate left. He said, "Oh, 100%, 100%."
I missed that answer.
Yeah. So. I was just impressed with Amari Allen. I think when you get him back, it's gonna be really huge for this team. Losing him on Saturday against Tennessee was problematic, and I think that it just shows you how important he is. Now, after the game, I asked Coach Oates what made the difference defensively, and he said, "Well, they were really locked in on the scouting report." And I think Amari on the sidelines yelling at, "Oh, shooter this, screen that, oh, horns, whatever, 5 out," or calling out action sets really shows that this team, when you are locked in on the scouting report, you can play good defense and you can win, and you can win comfortably. I was just impressed with Amari Allen. I can't wait to have him back.
Yeah, he has done so many good things on this core, man. He is, as far as the NBA stuff goes, I think LeBaron Fallon can be a good NBA player. I think Amari Allen might have the highest NBA ceiling on this team as far
Grant
as
Hill.
Okay, I don't know if I'd go that far, but he looks like a guy who can instantly just come in to, he's probably to end up on one of those late lottery teams, and I think he could instantly plug in and just be the piece that helps a team get over the hump, make it into the playoffs. Like, he just does all the right things, man. He does everything you could possibly want to see just a young guy do in the league. I think this will be his last year. It's hard to say, but he's already starting to appear on boards. And I think if he comes back from this injury and has another stretch of games like he did in early January, we're going to be hearing people say stuff like, yeah, Amari Allen, top 10 NBA draft pick.
Do you know how many points and rebounds Grant Hill averaged as a freshman as a Duke Blue Devil? Grant Hill, 6'8", 225.
We are not. Okay.
I'm just asking.
We are not comparing this Alabama team to the 1989 Duke Blue Devils.
90 and 91. No.
90-91.
No, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm going. I'm just asking you, do you know how many points and rebounds Grant Hill averaged as a freshman for that Duke team?
I have no clue what he averaged.
You want to give a guess?
Go.
Freshman, remember, don't go too high. Don't go too high.
Go 10-8.
10-8 is not a bad guess at all. 11.2, 5.1 on the rebounds, 2.2 assists, a 1.5 steals, and almost 1 block. Obviously, they won a national championship. So the team was was 3 steps better. It was 4 steps better than the Alabama team is currently right now. But Amari Allen at 6'7", 205 pounds. So an inch shorter, 20 pounds lighter, needs to gain a little weight, needs to get your weight up a little bit. Amari Allen is averaging 11.7 more points, 7.8 rebounds, more rebounds, 3.4 assists, more assists, 1.1 steal, and 0.9 blocks, so almost 1 block. Basically the same, a little fewer on the steals, and just a teensy bit more on the blocks.
Joe, do you need some ice for your shoulder or something? It's got to be tired after all that reaching. Like, come on, man.
Same position, basically same height and weight, basically same production.
Look, he's doing impressive stuff.
I mean, okay.
I'm not putting him in Grant Hill conversations yet. I'm not.
Well,
there.
Grant Hill played like 4 years in college, so of course he got a lot more. He got a lot more. His stature grew and grew and grew and grew and grew.
Grant Hill is one of the greatest college basketball players.
Of course.
Of all time.
Of course he is. But let's say Amari doesn't go to that's not going to happen, but like because of the times. But put Amari Allen in 1990. He's going to play 4 years of college, and he's going to end up being a top 10 draft pick like like Grant Hill. Grant Hill, 3rd overall draft pick.
That was at a time when a senior could be. It's different. Yes.
He's going to go. Amari Allen's going to go as a freshman.
Yes.
And he's going to end up at 18, at 24, at 27. Is he going to be a lottery pick?
I think that we will see Amari Allen very likely play his way into the lottery.
Okay, and you're going to sit here and tell me I'm crazy? He's a freshman lottery pick, and he and Grant Hill play the exact same position, basically very, very similar height and weight, and Amari Allen has better freshman production than Grant Hill. And it took Grant Hill 4 years to get to a top 3 pick. Now, obviously, the draft was a bit different. Who they were drafting and what they were drafting for was a bit different at that time. So, of course, Grant Hill played the right game. Yeah, look, Grant Hill was one of the corner pieces of the best teams we've seen. It's just, it's hard to compare guys to players in the 90s in that era and on a team like Duke. So it's hard for me to even entertain that conversation. But where am I missing you here? Are you thinking of senior Grant Hill? If Grant makes the pass, I'll make the shot. Christian Laettner.
I don't know where to go with this one, man. I like him a lot as an NBA player. Grant Hill is a Hall of Famer. Grant Hill is a guy who came in as
he wasn't always a Hall of Famer. He had to start as a rookie somewhere. He is a Hall of Famer, and he was a great, amazing college player. Yeah. Amazing college player. I'm not taking anything away from Grant Hill. I think he's up on a pedestal. But as freshmen, I think they're pretty comparable.
Statistically, sure.
Size-wise, position-wise. They won a national title as a freshman.
I don't know if I love the Grant Hill comp.
All right. Well, think about it over the next 24 hours and give me somebody better.
I'm trying to think of.
It doesn't have to be right now. You don't have to press yourself into crunching into. It's got to be this player. No, give yourself 24 hours and think about it.
I like that. I'll go home and I'll make come up with my pro comp for Amari Allen.
My pro comp for LeBaron Philon, Lil Bow Wow. You ever seen Like Mike?
Yes, I have. That's not a bad. That's what I can get behind.
Now, obviously better than a movie, but they look since LeBaron has braided his hair, he looks very much like Lil Bow Wow in Like Mike to me. People were throwing out Allen Iverson, and I get that as well, but just looks a little bit closer to me to Lil Bow Wow. And if you've never seen Like Mike, it's a nice, cute.
First of all, what are you doing if you haven't seen that movie, right?
Well, it came out like when most of our listeners were children. Like Mike movie, 2002.
I wasn't even born yet.
Exactly. So before you were born, so I would expect there's a large swath of our listeners who have never seen the movie Like Mike.
That one's a classic right there.
Absolutely. So Amari, LeBaron Philon, Mr. Lil Bow Wow, 18 points last night, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 2 steals. I think LeBaron needs to be 1% more aggressive. Needs to continue. I'm not his coach. I'm not Nate Oates, but I think if I were Nate Oates, I would be encouraging LeBaron to take the game on a little bit more. Just keep asserting yourself. 5 of 12 last night from the floor. Get to the rim a lot better. Get to the rim a lot more often is what I would tell him. Obviously, I don't mind the 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. He is making 3-pointers. He's controlling the basketball very, very well to be playing 30 minutes and only have 2 turnovers. That's pretty impressive. Really, when you think about Alabama's pace and Alabama's turnover issues in years past, I think he's playing very, very well. But I would just tell him, hey, man, you can do whatever you want to. Go out there and fill it up. Go out there and get it. Go out there and drive and initiate the offense even more.
That one I agree with because he's a solid 3-point shooter. He's nothing special from beyond the arc, but man, he is special when he drives. And you look at, I think the biggest example of this is I love the comment, Jay. Yeah, come on. That was such a stretch.
No, it's not.
That was such a stretch. We will talk about this tomorrow. I'll have my pro comp, but I think that you look at the Texas game, right? And LeBaron Philon goes, and I know Will Miller called it a bad shot. I know a bunch of people were, where he, shoots down 3 in the final minute, just bails out, pulls up from 3 when you have a lane to drive, and you've been unstoppable on drives at times. And why aren't we going downhill? Why aren't we engaging? And I think that a lot of the possessions he kind of settles for 3. And he is not by any stretch a bad 3-point shooter. But his biggest value on offense comes with, I'm going to get downhill. I'm going to drive in and, maybe I'll give this ball up. Maybe I'll find someone because I have great court vision. But there's also a very strong chance that I will go right to the hole. There's also a strong chance that I will pull up and I have one of the best mid-range shots. Not that that's a good look. We know we don't like non-rim twos, but he's one of the best mid-range shots.
If you got the green light, you can take it.
So I just think that the 3-point shot is not smart. Reitzel and Holloway are better pure shooters. And so often on your drives, you're able to find those guys. So I'm going to expand on what you said. I'm going to go a little more than 1%. I think I want to be 10% more aggressive. Do it more. And I think good things will come from that.
I'm really impressed with his play this season. I would just encourage him to lean in even further. All right. Theo, you're almost out of time. We got to get you to class. It's Spanish class day, isn't it?
It unfortunately is.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
No, I'm not even. I have to do a writing assignment today. I'm going to write about this game in Spanish.
No way.
I should. I think that'll be fun.
That would be impressive. That was the biggest area that I always struggled with was writing in proper verb tenses and making sure that all the words were properly male or female, and that was challenging.
We've got to write about something in the past tense that's happened. So it's like, Alabama, Missouri past tense. I can pull it off.
All right. Well, I believe in you. I certainly believe in you. We are going to get out of here for the day. I want to remind everybody the program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. We want to encourage you to call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs. You can call them for residential roofing, for commercial roofing, for emergency storm repairs, for full-on roof replacements, insurance claim support, and more. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home or business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofing solution. So call Purple Turtle Roofing today at 877-787-6635. They'll come out, give you a free roof inspection, let you know what's wrong with your roof. If your roof is good, I'm sure your roof is fine, but they'll give you the peace of mind that you deserve. So call them at 877-787-6635 today, and they'll come check you out, let you know what's going on with your roof, and give you the peace of mind that you deserve. All right, Theo, before we get out of here for the day, your homework is to come up with your pro player comp for Amari. And look, I'm just asking you to focus in on freshman Grant Hill.
It's not any version of Grant Hill, I'll tell you that.
That's fine. They play very similar, in my opinion. I think that they're pretty close to one another. So you can think about Amari Allen. I want to talk about football in some form or fashion tomorrow. Maybe we can talk about the 5 stars that Alabama, the 24/7 rivals, when they'll put up their final 5 stars. E.J. Crowell and Jet Tamala both making the list right there. We can talk about the Senior Bowl because you got Senior Bowl happening right now. You got East-West Shrine Bowl happening right now. You got a lot of people going to NFL draft stuff. Is Ty Simpson going to be a first rounder? All kinds of stuff we can do on the football side. Anything else you've got on your brain today before you go write about this basketball game in Spanish?
No, not much. I mean, that's a good result for Alabama, right? Can't be too upset about anything.
Can't be too upset about anything. We encourage you to follow all the coverage of Alabama athletics on BamaCentral.com. You can find Theo Fernandez at Theo Fernandez _, myself at Joe Gaither 6. You can find the show on the Bama Central YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast platforms. This has been the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. We appreciate you guys so much. Share the show, find the show, send the show to a friend. Call the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800, and we will talk to you again tomorrow right here on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com.